I tell you right now, I don't care what anyone says. This is easily one of the most entertaining, most well-written spin-off series that I've read, period. Honestly, period, because it's taking all of the source material and it's incorporating it in such a way that matters. It's not just like, oh, hey, this happened, who gives a shit? Like, this chapter, so many things happen. If the original Naruto, and I'm talking about all 700 chapters or whatever, if that had the pacing that Gaiden has right now, we would have had probably half the manga, like half the size or whatever, because the pacing is so fast. But at the same time, I can't really complain because it's like, how many things did we get in this chapter? How many revelations? How many characters? Just so many different things that went down in this chapter. And I'm just like, fuck yes. And I feel bad for Sakura fans. Kishimoto must hate that fucking character after this chapter because she's not the mommy. She's not the mommy. Maury, come out with the motherfucking card and say it. Yeah. So for starters, the beginning of the chapter, we get the revelation about the Shins and how they're basically clones of Orochimaru, which, I mean, that was the obvious, and I kind of would have liked for it to be a little bit different, but at the same time, you can clearly see that at the end of the day, there's a huge possibility that Orochimaru is going to be one of the main antagonists of this story and of this series as of right now, because just what he's doing behind the scenes and everything with these clones and all of his little projects or whatever, it does lead me to one thing, I'm not gonna lie, and that's, why are the Hidden Leaf allowing him to continue? Why haven't they gone in there, dragged his little creepy ass out of there, and put him in a prison or something? Because even though he did help out with the war, it doesn't take away from all the fucked up things he's done, all the experiments, all the people he's tortured, and all the things he continues to do. I really want to know what is the reason why the Leaf haven't come after him yet. I mean, okay, you want to say that he hasn't done anything directly to the Leaf in a while? Fair enough. But what about Sarutobi's death or whatever? Why is it just that they're allowing this motherfucker to keep going when he's clearly building up to be a threat? And I definitely see a lot of the symbolic nature of this chapter as well. When Orochimaru was talking about genetics, when Shin was talking about genetics and everything, it was all tying back into the whole story and how Sarada feels and just kind of like who in reality are family, what family truly means. Is it genetics or is it just the people that you care about? Because at the end of the day, with the big shocking revelation, which Suigetsu, my man, Suigetsu and Jugo are back, I'm just like, ugh. But let's just say Sarada does find Karin, let's just say. What if Karin is like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about you, get away from me, you're not my daughter, I'd spat you out, I don't want you no more. Meanwhile, she has the woman that raised her, Sakura, that absolutely adores her, loves her, calls her her daughter, treats her like, you know, she's her own. So it really goes into the whole thing, and I like the way that it's playing out. Like, even the villains and what they're talking about and everything, it all plays into, honestly, what I feel like this is Sarada's manga. This is really all about her struggle to find out who's her parents and accept it. At this particular point, like, the first 7 chapters, we're finding out the mystery, and I think from here on out is her trying to come to terms with it and to come to the realization of who's her true family. And again, just so many questions come into my mind. Like, okay, we find out in this chapter that Taka are rolling with Orochimaru, so they never left his side after that point, which, I mean, I don't get why. I mean, Suigetsu was in a fucking jar and Jugo was in a damn cell, so why would they still be rolling with this dude? But let's talk about Orochimaru's female appearance now, because this tranny motherfucker, I ain't gonna lie, it's too crazy for me. But what if, and this is a big what if, because it's very convenient Karin is in a different hideout or whatever, and granted we did get the flashback of her saying stay out of my desk or whatever, so it could just be all coincidental or whatever. But with Orochimaru's female appearance, what if he took her body? What if Orochimaru was walking around in an Uzumaki body right now and he's basically like Karin's fucking body? That would just be insane as well. And again, it would all play into Sarada's quest to find her mother, which at that particular point, that's a mind fuckery. Like, you find out that's not really your mother, and your mother is this girl with the glasses, and then you could potentially find out that your mother's body is some fucking weird nut job or whatever. Like, yeah. And one of the things that definitely caught my interest as well with this chapter, among many different things, is Sasuke. When Suigetsu was talking to Naruto and said, basically, kind of spilled the beans a little bit about Sasuke kind of knowing a little bit of this. So is Sasuke still on that BS? Is it that he's just cool with Orochimaru? Does he have his own plans? Like, if Sasuke is still rogue, which I don't think so. I mean, at the end of the day, he was very gung-ho about, that's my wife, that's my daughter, what the fuck do you think you're doing? But that could just be an act. It could just very well be an act. We don't know right now, but just that little line right there. And then when Naruto was trying to question Suigetsu, and Suigetsu was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm out of here. Peace. Like, yeah. The only thing why I could see potentially why the Leaf are kind of leaving him alone is because at the end of the day, even in this chapter, Orochimaru is cooperating with them. He did say, well, you know, you'll take a problem off my hands with this Shin dude, which apparently this Shin motherfucker turned into Danzo's arm in a sense with all those eyes or whatever. And why is Orochimaru continuing these experiments? Yet again, that leads to the question, like, is he trying to start another war? What the hell is going on? Because why would you be trying to perfect, obviously we know his goal about knowing all jutsu or whatever, but why is he trying to perfect this shadow clone jutsu, which makes them like basically twins instead of like them disappearing or whatever? Yet again, Orochimaru on his bullshit. And then that ending with Sarada, like, that's right there a defining moment for her character. These 7 chapters, which have felt like, I don't know, 21 chapters, 30 chapters, maybe even more, have built up until this point where this is where her character right now has to choose a destiny. Is she gonna go one of the paths that her father has took several different times to say, fuck the Leaf, you lied to me, burn motherfuckers, I'm going with this tranny dude that possibly has my mom's body? Or is she going to accept it, say, you know what? Genetics doesn't make a parent. Genetics doesn't make family. Family is the people that care about you. And this is where the character will see where she goes from here. And here's another thing. Mitsuki, the character that we've seen prior to this one, and we know he's going to be in Boruto Naruto the movie. He looks very similar to Orochimaru, and he has, I believe it might be the Otsutsuki name. I'm not sure if that's confirmed yet or not. What if Mitsuki, though, is Orochimaru's biological son or a perfected clone? Now, perfected clone, fair enough, whatever. You know, we already know about the Shins, and we know that he's continuing his experiments. But if it is a biological son, it begs the question, with who? How? And again, if the theory that potentially Orochimaru's running around in Karin's body, what if that is, in a weird way, Orochimaru's combination with Karin having a kid, which would, it's just such a fucked up thing to think about. That would make this Sarada sibling and the connection with Sasuke, my mind hurts right now thinking about this. And in all honesty, this was just a stellar chapter from start to finish. Everything, the pacing, yes, it was very fast, but it gave us so much content. And granted, I mean, at the end of the day, let's think about it for a second. In the original series and in a lot of other series, we would have had multiple chapters of them walking to, you know, the hideout and whatnot and going through little things and having little conversations and whatever. Do you really want that, or do you want to just get straight to the point? I mean, sometimes that does help because it builds things up and it adds extra mystery, but if this is going to be short anyway, let's just get to the fucking point, right? And again, just so many different things. Let me know what you guys think. First of all, how do you feel seeing Taka alive and kicking? Why hasn't the Leaf gone after Orochimaru yet? Orochimaru, how did he get that body? Is he going to go after Sarada? What do you think Sarada is going to do next? Sasuke having this info prior to this. Is it that he's working with Taka? Are they planning something nasty? Mitsuki potentially the kid. Karin being the mom. What do you think of that? Just so much. Honestly, I'm giving this chapter 9.5 out of 10. The reason why I'm not giving that 0.5 is because I want to know why the Leaf haven't take this motherfucking creep out yet. Why haven't they arrested him? Why haven't they gone after him? Sarutobi's dead because of him. You can't sweep that under the rug, regardless of how you do it. And your overall thoughts of this? I fucking love this chapter. I really did. Honestly, it was a capping on 7 amazing chapters thus far, and I can't fucking wait to see. Honestly, I really hope Sarada realizes Sakura's really her mom at the end of the day, because again, genetics don't mean shit. The people that love you are truly your family. And your overall thoughts of this chapter, but that's all I have for this review / reaction / gurgitating of feels. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Bitch, you are not the mother.